Still. At no point were people like, we're in a hologram.
Yeah, it was like Lawnmower Man.
Oh yeah.
The 3D animation and Lawnmower Man. Yeah, they should have left that part out. They should have just gone with code and just had it. That would have been a better filmmaking choice. Along with hackers, should have stuck to the code, but I think they were trying to convince people to code.
Well, that's the other thing is too, is like, this is back when like you would surf the web. There was cyberspace. And I remember the ads and such were such that I actually thought it was VR when I was a kid. I was like, oh wow, when you get online, like you put on the headset and you're in, like you get the Nintendo Power Glove and rock and roll.
Yeah, you can.
And then I got America Online and was like, what?
Well, it was kind of like that because America Online, it was the whole web inside of whatever America
like a browser.
You couldn't.
Yeah, it was very restrictive.
It was.
I mean, it's just chat rooms.
Yeah, you couldn't do much. You couldn't get
got
out.
on web crawler, and I was like, "What the hell is web crawler for?"
Sure.
I had no clue. Like, this is just people blogging. That was it.
But that was a big part of my childhood was getting on Amnen or you know the MIRC chat rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And talking with people around the country and how they found that particular chat room, I don't know. Or I guess you
just kind of happened upon it.
Yeah.
I got into the BBS is a little bit bulletin boards and IRC late. So by the time I was on IRC, like it was so exclusive and elitist. Like you weren't allowed to say certain things in certain ways. Like you had to use elite speak. You wouldn't be caught dead asking certain questions because people would just be like, "Oh, you're a noob." Like, ugh. And
this guy,
you just get trolled,
yeah.
And then they would hack you, or they would try to hack you.
Yeah,
like just crazy shit.
Oh, it wasn't until I got older that I realized how easy it is to hack people because people are not incredibly creative with their passwords.
Right. Well, why should that be? Like you're told, it's like you go into a house. Here's your key. You use that key, right? Yeah. You have the key. Someone else doesn't have the key. You have the key. But when the key is a guess, it's like, make up a key really quick. Okay, well, my name and like a number 1. Like, nowadays, I see people doing the thing where they'll be like, oh, the name of my dog and like an exclamation mark or something.
Yeah, that's
like a capital letter somewhere.
Don't use your street address, pet names, zip
code,
birthday,
dear God,
mother's maiden name.
the names of your children, just don't do it ever. Because it's literally like it's what everyone does, right? It'd be like my password being like all black bald guy 1. Like it's not gonna work. Like don't do it. Don't do it. Anything someone could guess about you, don't do. But we're talking about passwords. I think that's actually really rather interesting, because it does kind of go into stories. I'm making a bit of a stretch here. The idea of how can you make up something that you don't know? And then when you have to make up 30 of them, because everything requires one. Like there's a point where you're going to start reusing or just having variations of the same thing, right? If you pull it into stories, it's kind of the same thing. It's writing the same kind of tropey. How do you get away from that? How do you break that mold?